Good morning, friends, folks, family, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection Workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics, to the commuters, to the weird noises, to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, and a few good laughs. I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, shifting it into drive this morning, right here in the Car Connection Workshop. Well, good morning to you. If you're on the road, we have made it to Saturday. It's Motormouth's morning drive, Saturday morning Q&A. That's questions and answers for the whole hour. We have 3 questions I pulled out from the emails received during the week, and if you want to know how to do that and get your question on the air with me so that I can answer it and break it out for you, it's simple. Motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. You'll find that email address in the description box of our YouTube videos as well as our podcasts. All the podcasts now are moving over to our YouTube channel. I'm migrating them over 10 at a time and moving them from private to public. That's the way it has to go. That's just the way it is. So we are in season 2. Today's episode being season 2, episode 129. They're all listed for you in our YouTube channel. If it's marked, the one you want to listen to, if it's marked private, that means I haven't been able to make it public yet. So I'm putting up 10 each and every day. Every 24 hours, I can cycle in another 10 podcasts and make them public. So just so you know, and the new ones, as we come along, we're working at figuring out. They're supposed to be able to go public as soon as we come off the air on iHeart with the program, and it's scheduled for 8 o'clock. It should shoot automatically over to our YouTube channel, which it does, and it's supposed to be made public, but it's not turning it public. So we're working on figuring that out. So if you see that in our YouTube channel, that's okay. We are on it. We're all over it like Axel on a donut. It's that simple. So thanks for joining us this morning and welcoming us into your world as we welcome you into my very own. Yeah, I can refer you to therapy, to treatment. Yeah, counseling. Yeah, you'll be okay. It does pass after a while, the Car Connection Workshop. So thanks for joining us. If you are a working weekend dude or dudette, well, take it easy out there. Make sure you get the right drive-through order, not somebody else's. That happens on a regular basis, I might add. And check it twice, lock it down in your cup holder, and join us. Let's have a swiggy together this morning, brought to us by our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, 50 years experience with IG Wealth Management, portfolio management, debt retirement, estate planning, powers of attorney, beneficiaries, the whole 9 yards, and health proxies. If you have kids living at home, 18 years or older, are you their health proxy? And look that up, what that means. Mums and dads, you need to know what that means. They arrange mortgages through IG Wealth. I've had a mortgage with them for almost 15 years. I wouldn't think of going anywhere else. They're absolutely amazing to deal with. No fuss, no muss, and great mortgage rates. Very competitive. Life insurance, critical insurance, and a whole lot more services that I just don't have time to mention. Click on their logo on a homepage of our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com, and you'll get to meet both Tony Miele and Larry Tetro. Book yourself in for the discovery meeting that we have nicknamed the Hour and a Coffee. Leave your wallet at home. Mama, leave your purse at home. You're not going to experience any sales or gimmicks or anything. They're going to sit and listen to you, find out where you're at and where you'd like to be, and then talk about working out a game plan to get you there. So on 3, that's how we do it. If you're joining us for the first time, get your 16-pack of Crayola crayons and your folded up leaf bag so you can take all kinds of notes without running out of paper. And we count it down on 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Yep, I needed that right away. Just like, my pops used to say, yeah, you needed that kick in the pants. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Could I get an extra one next time so I don't need one this time? Or can I get one this time so I don't need one next time? Yeah, the things you flash back to, right? Yeah, pops would say, if you don't stop doing that, you're going to find out what size my work boot is. Ding, ding, ding. Amen. I just snuck another swiggy. You don't mind, do you? Okay, morning weekend weather, Saturday. It is Saturday. It is. It's weekend, and it's Easter weekend. If you're going to be out there with the kids, taking on the Easter bunny and finding the egg supply, I would recommend be careful. I've heard again that the Easter bunny this year is a biter, so be careful. Yeah, and it's extreme Easter egg hunting. I've seen videos. When they release the kids, they're taking no prisoners. So moms and dads, keep an eye, but you might want to be on the sidelines for this one, or you're going to need some PPE, personal protection equipment. Saturday's low will be 40 degrees between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. The high will be 68 between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Temperature range will feel like 32 to 67. Yippee! Wind will make it feel cooler than the actual temperature. Well, we're pushing up. When we stabilize at about 60, 62 degrees Fahrenheit, then we'll launch our 30-day fuel savings challenge. If you're interested in putting about $100 a month back in your bank account, in your pocket, I can show you how to do that. Teach you how to do it, but I'll give you the instructions. You do the part. That's how it has to work, because I don't drive your car. I don't know you, and I don't drive your car, okay? Yeah, that's it exactly. So I'll give you the instructions. You drive the car, keep track, and then in 30 days, minimum, you're going to put $50 to $100 back in your pocket. It all depends. Closer to 50 if you cheat, closer to 100 if you do it right. So hang in for that. We haven't forgotten. We got to get out of the cold start function, because that doesn't help any of us with fuel economy right now. The temperature's up and down. Your vehicle still goes into cold start mode. What does that mean? Cold start mode. It means that the computer looks at the temperature of the antifreeze. That's not the coolant temperature sensor or sender. Which one's correct? The sender, coolant temperature sender, is for your gauge, your monitoring in the dash. Coolant temperature sensor is what the computer reads to determine the temperature of your vehicle's engine. So if it's stone cold, it reads that in a voltage signal, then it adjusts instantly the air-fuel mixture. So at this time of year where we're bouncing around in the 40s, low 50s, back into the high 30s, there is cold start function will kick in. That's where more fuel, less air. So we need to put more fuel in the cylinders and give it less air and get the burn going. We need lots of burn to get that engine up to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. That's normal. That's what we call normal operating temperature, is 195 Fahrenheit. No matter what you're driving, it needs to be stable and pinned at 195 degrees Fahrenheit for everything to work properly, including your automatic transmission. And we have part 2 coming up on that on Monday. on the automatic transmission. Myths. Not myths. Myths. That's a hard word to say. You ever tried that? All right, so our weekend weather brought to us by City Auto Sales and Leasing. Earl and Louise Grant, great couple to deal with. Let me tell you, you're going to love it there. I don't care if it takes you 2 days to get there and you got to take your jammies and a toothbrush. It's worth it because you can buy a vehicle with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. Low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. They sell no junk, so no lipsticks on pigs and no skunks and mink coats. Top quality vehicles. That's why they're the Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. In-house leasing and financing available. So check in with Earl and Louise Grant, City Auto Sales and Leasing. If you don't see the vehicle that you're currently looking for, let them know. They have the resources with 25 plus years in the business. They know where to source those vehicles from. If there is a good one out there, I'll tell you, Earl and Louise will find it. Low mileage at a fair price. Save you thousands and thousands of steps. Let them know that Car Connection sent you. Do we have any RAIN on the tote board today for weather? Well, I didn't want to tell you, but yeah, 0.25 of an inch. Tell you, these microbursts, I think they dump down an inch at a time, to be honest with you. Man, the rain can sure come down. All of a sudden, there's nothing, and then there's a wall of water. Well, again, welcome to Saturday. It is Easter weekend. If you're having a family gathering, remember, you can have that extra slice of pie and make sure you got the couch organized for yourself, right, to have a little rest. Thank you to Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls in Canada, building Canada since 1931, making this podcast available to you on all the platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and any podcast platform that you're pulling your podcast from. Just put Car Connection Workshop in the search bar and you will find us there. Share us. Share us with your family and friends. Visit us on our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's where you'll find our program partners' logos on the home page. Click on any logo and connect and meet with them and let them know Car Connection sent you. Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, building Canada since 1931. All the building supplies you can muster, hardscape, landscape materials so that you can put together that beautiful backyard space you've always wanted to entertain family, friends, and maybe even just hang out and have a little quiet time. They have a list of contractors. Just talk to Kathy Grimo and ask her to give you a referral to a contractor that would be able to take care of that special project that you have in mind. Well, let's jump in with question number one. And thank you this morning. A very special thank you to Linda and Jennifer and James for taking the time and sending me an email question. Some great questions. I'll tell you, the questions coming in, they're enough to burn my socks right off my feet and make my hair stand straight up, which I think it already is. Yeah, it makes it hard to wear a ball cap. Anyhow, question one this morning. Question one. From Linda, my husband told me I don't need to use the parking brake. Is that true? Is that the time? Yeah. When a question comes in like that, it's like, how do I answer that without upsetting the hubby? I can't. Because I got to tell you the truth. It's not true. It is absolutely, listen up, folks, it's absolutely 100% wrong. Wrong. Okay. I got a backup plan to answer this one. Go to our YouTube channel. Last summer, Skippy would tell you, we had a number of vehicles come in from some widows and single ladies and others just struggling to make ends meet, and we were able to jump in and provide some labor. And I'll tell you, I got into some brake jobs that were they were stinking gruesome, and you can go watch that for yourself and get a better understanding that will answer this question. And you'll also be able to see, that's right, you'll be able to see what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and why you should be using your emergency brake, your park brake, set brake, whatever you want to call the darn thing. I'm going to say parking brake to save me from losing one of my 2 last brain cells, the little gray men. Yeah, you'll see exactly what I'm about to tell you visually. We had the brake nationals going last summer. It was one really bad brake job after another where nothing was salvageable. Nothing. Calipers, pads, worn right down to the metal. Brake rotors completely toast. You can't reuse them anyway. They got to come out. So if your guy's talking about doing a pad slap on an old rotor, shame on you. That's not how you do a brake job. That's wrong. Wrong. That's wrong. You do it right. Brakes and steering, if you can't stop it or steer it, nothing else matters. So in our YouTube channel, if you go back to summer of 2025, you will see back-to-back brake jobs where you'll see what happens to the parking brake mechanism when you're not using it. And unfortunately, it makes up a good portion of your rear braking system. And when it goes defunct, you're in big trouble. It all has to be replaced for it all to work properly. I'm just saying, hey, I'm not the message, I'm just the messenger. These 4-wheel disc brake systems with disc brake drum combination on the rear, here's what you have to know. When you look back there, you're not just looking at brake pads. That rear disc brake rotor has a brake drum built into it. What's that for, you ask? Well, that's where your emergency brake shoes go. Inside the brake drum portion built into the disc brake rotor on the back. And, you ready for this? And the emergency brake cables, when you pull them, adjust your rear disc brake pads so that it takes the weight off the front of the brakes. Because the front brakes do about 60 to 75% of the braking. But that doesn't mean rear brakes are an option. Okay, fella? All right? It's not. It doesn't, the front brakes, they do must work all the time. We don't need to be bothered spending money on the parking brake. Okay, armchair warriors, head to the YouTube channel. And you can get there very quick. Go to Car Connection, businessnetwork.com, ccbusnet.com. Top right-hand corner has all the online community platforms we're involved with. Facebook, YouTube, or Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. And Skippy puts reels and stuff up there to make you laugh. I'm going to have some coffee here. Yeah, I'm having coffee. Yep, go ahead. You tell somebody. Tell 2 friends and get them to bring more coffee. I had to cough there for a minute. Little gap in the... didn't think you needed to hear that. You ever get that dry spell? That little tickle thing? Yeah, most people do. Go to our homepage, top right-hand corner. All the community online platforms are there for you to click and join us. Check out the reels and bloopers that Skippy puts there on Facebook, Instagram. Stevensville on the web, we have a profile page there. We are the online expert. Yeah, so you get to see our articles there. Click on the businesses tab to find us there. Our iHeartRadio link is there as well. Click on there and grab some merch while you're in the merch store, having a look around. Just remember, The sale proceeds from the merch go to help those who are struggling with addiction that have made the decision to beat it once and for all. We can help them get to a total freedom addiction campus, Canada and USA, where that's what they deal with. That's what they do, and that's what they deal with there. And they have a new life waiting for them there. It's not a program. It is a complete life change. So our YouTube channel is there. Click on there and go into summer. Find the videos from summer 2025, and you will find, I believe there's 3 separate vehicles in a row, 4-wheel disc brake system, and the parking brake system is completely destroyed. Like there's nothing left. It's all rotted out. That's not how it's supposed to be, fellas and fellettes. You need to be using that park brake every day, every time you park. So if you came here to bust me on anything like that, you're going to see every vehicle you peer through the window that the parking brake is on. And that not just happens when I put the vehicle back in the driveway. If I go to the store, parking brake goes on. If I go in the bank, parking brake's on. If I stop for fuel, parking brake goes on. It takes 21 days. Dan Sullivan, there you go. Look him up and listen to his 21-day focus. It takes, and he has another one called the 21 days to make or break a habit. That's the talk you want to listen to. 21 days to make or break any habit. So in order for you to get used to, oh, well, honey, just put it on when you have to. Oh, no. No. Times no divided by no equals no. Every time that car stops and you put it in park, that emergency brake goes on, even if it's an automatic. Fellas, sorry to tell you, but when you watch those videos, put your comments down below, because every single one of those rear brake jobs would have cost thousands to have it done in the shop. Everything had to be replaced. All the emergency shoes, hold down kits, cables, rotors, and calipers, because when the emergency brakes can't adjust the rear calipers, you don't have rear brakes working. You don't. They're just there for grins. So you're overheating the front brakes, and instead of them doing 60 to 70% of the work, they're now taking the whole weight of the engine and transmission 100%, and it burns out the front brakes, and they usually warp, and you end up with shake and brake, or the brakes are squealing like a pig on the front because they're overheated. Too much weight, too much inertia. So there's a word for you can look up. Yeah, physics class. I really enjoyed physics class. Look up the term inertia, because that's exactly what happens when the rear disc brakes are not adjusted because you don't use the parking brake, and all the mechanism that works the parking brake helps the disc brake to work properly. How about them apples? You like apples? How about them apples? Yeah, so when it comes time for a brake job, and you go, well, do we really have to do the parking brake? I don't use it. Hey, rocket scientist, what did I just say? It all works together. It's an integral braking system, and if you don't understand it, you will when you've paid to replace it all three times, because you decided, oh, it's an automatic, honey, we don't need to use the parking brake. That's just stupid. Really. Wait till I show you what an actual parking pole looks like. And I will. I'll video that. The little tiny, teeny weeny piece of metal called a parking pole inside your automatic transmission is all that holds all the weight of that vehicle when you don't use the parking brake. Should that little tab break off, you set the car free. It's like it's in neutral, because you can't put it in park because the parking pole broke off. So we'll do a video on that very, very soon, because I'm working into transmissions right now. It would be a great idea for all y'all, to see what is holding the entire weight of that vehicle on a hill, and you forgot to set the wheels towards the curb so that it goes flying down the hill when that breaks off, because it does. And when it does, there's no park mode. It's in neutral, and the car takes off. Yeah, so we'll cover that another time, but just look at it. You can look it up too if you wish. Parking Paul, Pawl, Parking Paul. Have a look. You'll see what I mean. Makes me nervous just thinking about it. Whether I have a vehicle that's automatic or manual, guess what? The FJ Cruiser is automatic. Go out there right now and you have a little peekaboo, see if the handle's pulled up. Ta-dee-ta-da, la-la-la-la. Yes, it is. All the time. Follow me to the stores. The handle pulled up. Yes, it is. 21 days to make or break a habit. So getting back to Linda's question, my husband told me I don't need to use the parking brake. Is that true? Door number 2, year's supply of rice-a-roni for that fella. Cold rice-a-roni. And a Spam sandwich. No bread. Perfect. So take a look at those YouTube videos, folks, because all our videos are designed to teach you automotive repair and ownership basic fundamentals. Basic fundamentals that will prevent you ladies from getting ripped off at the service center, because it's happening. Even the fellas are getting taken for a big ride these days. Huge ride. So a lot of upselling going on, because when the economy sucks, yeah, like a swirly in the toilet, we're pretty much on the last swirl. Money gets tight and people get desperate. And in the automotive world, if you head into a shop that does upsell and the techs are paid flat rate, they're going to rip you off to make their paycheck. I don't mean to be disrespectful, and I am definitely not saying all, but I am saying they'll sell you stuff you don't need. They'll upsell you stuff you really don't need, because they're trying to make up their paycheck. That's how they get paid, on commission. On flat rate, they get a commish, and I never paid my guys commission. Never. They were on hourly, and they had to perform. As you perform, so shall you bonus. They never needed to come and ask for a raise, because they knew, don't ask Motormouth for more money. You better ask him, what can I do to change my production in order to earn a raise? That's the question you need to come and ask me, and then I'll write it down for you and say, here's what you need to do, and I'll help you in these areas if you want to work towards making more money. But I never paid my guys flat rate, never paid any commissions. It was as you work. If you work hard enough and produce for the shop, you'll instantly get an increase in your pay without even asking. It'll be your wife that says, hey, your check's worth more this month. There you go. That's how I was raised in a shop with a military instructor. You never asked them, can I get a raise? Nope. You better ask them the right question, because now you're going to get a lecture on why you're not getting a raise. That's the question you should be asking. So why am I not getting a raise? Here's your list. Okay, so back to the question. Yes, yes, plus yes, times yes, equals yes. Use the parking brake. If you have not been using it, don't use it until your service tech has a look back there. Wheels off, calipers off, rotors off. Let's see if you even have anything that works back there. But you need to get it working, because I can tell you right now, your rear brakes aren't working right. You do not have a safe vehicle on the road. Why? Not trying to scare you here, but all 4 wheels are designed to have brakes, fellas. I'm just saying. I don't know why they put brakes on the back when the fronts do all the work, according to the fellas in the armchairs. Yeah. Take me on any time, guys. I'll take your lunch money and your milk money right in front of you, and I'll do it nicely and smile. 4 brakes, 4 tires, 4 corners all need to have and experience equal braking when your foot goes on that pedal. Equal braking all the way around. All the way around. All the time. We do not cheap on brakes, suspension, and steering. That's what gives you a stable, controllable automobile. Anything less means something happens, you need to pull an evasive maneuver, you don't have the power, the car does, you're going where the car says it's going. And if it's out in the rhubarb patch, that's where it will settle when it's finished. You'll be along for the ride. And yes, you will probably need a change of clothing at that point. Let's be safe out there. When I say happy, healthy motoring when I sign off for the last 32 years, I mean it. Every guy I worked for taught us safety when you're working, and safety is number one. No shortcuts on anything we worked on. No shortcuts. That would get you sent home for a week. If you got caught doing a shortcut, that'd get you a few days off without pay. Yep, I'm telling you. Okay, number 2. We got to move along here. What time is it? Holy smokes. Snapping armpits, man. Time goes fast. Number 2. So, Linda, I'll let you break that to your husband. Just take him over to our YouTube channel and look at the Brake Nationals Summer 2025. One vehicle after another. The last one was the 2008 Nissan Rogue that was donated to us. The rear brakes, another shop checked the vehicle out, didn't even have rear brakes on there or parking brake on their list of things that needed to be done to get it back on the roadways safe and through a certification. Didn't even have that written down. There was nothing left. Nothing left in the emergency brakes. Nothing salvageable. It was all J-U-N-K. Junk. So that was the last one we did. That was Brake Nationals all the way around, all 4. Yeah. And if you had to pay for that out of your pocket, you'd be probably about $2,600 in parts and labor. Easily. Who's up next? Jennifer, question number 2 on the list. And remember, if you want to get a question on the air, don't be afraid. Your question may help somebody else somewhere else on this planet we spin on. So the question about the handbrake, my husband told me we don't need to use it. Brilliant. I'm being nice too. I'm playing nice. Ask my friends. Get online and send me an email. motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. Send me your question. Let me break it down for you. I'll give you nothing less than honesty, integrity, and truth. I don't sugarcoat anything because that doesn't help you. Sugarcoating stuff, and there's no losers here. We're all winners. Well, there's no crying in the Car Connection workshop, let me tell you. I'm working today, later this afternoon. I've got to get caught up. We're 4 vehicles behind, and I think 3 of those are going to be videos. One of them is the transmission service. Okay, anyways, that's going to be, I don't think we've done a transmission service, so that's going to be the first one on there. And you're going to want to know, if you're Nissan owners, you're going to want to know the letters CVT. What does that mean? Cha-ching. How can I prevent myself from getting taken advantage of when I take my vehicle to the repair shop? Great question, Jennifer. And we're going to unpack that on a podcast and break down the service and repair order. So that's when you arrive at the shop. That piece of paper, ladies, is justice right there. A lot of service advisors are lazier than stink. And yeah, I'm going to be hard on them because they suck. They don't fill everything in. And that falls on the head of if there's a service manager in the service department, he or she needs to crack that whip and let them know where their behinds are, because we fill work orders out completely. That's the details. That protects the business as well as the consumer. So here's the deal. Here's what I know. Being long enough in the business, 1 out of 10 service advisors are any good. They're lazy. They cut corners. They're too lazy to put the plate number in there. Got to get up. Oh, I got to go get the license plate. Oh, I forgot to get the in mileage. They don't put in mileage and they don't put out mileage, or both are missing. They don't even put the date on. I've seen repair orders. I've had to teach a class on it. And I've had examples showing lousy work orders. Change oil, $169.95. Well, did you do anything else? Well, the guy probably checked the tire pressures and the other fluids. Would you not want to put that information in there so the customer can see? Change engine, $3,800. Okay. Did you do anything to have to change that motor, pull it out? Did you have to unbolt stuff, take things off, change any clamps, or, the details? The details. So this is where we, as the consumer, have to move from being a consumer to a prosumer. So ladies, make sure that the lazy service advisor, and I don't care if I get some hate mail from this, because I'll tell you what, I could go to 10 service centers and I can tell you I'll have maybe one work order that's completely filled out and detailed. And now they have a system where you can actually categorize the repair work and it writes the story for you. But there's still other things that story doesn't write for you, is actually what really happened. Because nothing goes textbook. Tell me about it. Nothing. You watch the series. We've got a series of 7 15, 20-minute segments I'm tearing out the front end on a 2010 Dodge Caravan. The opposite side took me a whole day. It was gruesome. Yeah, it doesn't go textbook. But the passenger side, actually, you'll hear me say yippee on there a few times, because things were coming apart that would not come apart on the driver's side. That's where the story comes in. So here we go. How do I prevent myself from getting ripped off? Number 1, you got your full name and address on the top of the work order. Number 2, you got your in mileage plus your license plate. Stay tuned with the in mileage. That's the mileage you arrived with on your vehicle. Here's where it's very important when we get to the end. Number 2, whatever your requests are, you make sure that the service advisor sets up a sequence on the repair order for each one of your requests. I want a full service oil change and check over. Sequence 1. That's what I'm putting in there for you. So that when the tech reads it, he knows exactly what he or she is to do in the service bay. Any questions, they know, come back to the window. I'll tune you up. Let's make sure everything is getting done that Mrs. Smith wants done. Number 2, rotate the tires. That is a separate sequence, which will have a time. Each sequence will have a time allotted to it. My service engine light's on. Diagnose and contact me at. Make sure that it's clear that you prefer to be called, you prefer to be emailed, you prefer to have a text. Make sure the advisor makes that absolutely clear on the work order. So there's no excuses, because excuses are useless. I used to input warranty for a major car manufacturer. You miss one detail on that repair order that's covered by warranty, claim denied. Denied. Just keep remembering the out mileage. Keep remembering that box is empty, okay? So every sequence. So if you're taking it in to be diagnosed, I have a noise. I hear something. Something's rattling. I smell something. There's a fluid on the driveway. You make sure that service advisor puts the details on that sequence. Here's where you protect yourself. Get ready. This is the silver bullet. On that work order, somewhere in English, not hieroglyphics, because some of these service advisors write like I can't even describe. It's not printing, it's not writing, it's hieroglyphics. You want to make sure it's perfectly clear. I am authorizing 1 hour of diagnostic time and request a full review by phone, email, text, or send me a video and a text so I can see what's going on. And I will proceed from there. Do not give them an open ticket. You know what that means? You don't say just diagnose it and fix it. No. You're wide open to getting ripped off. You give them 1 hour diagnostic time with a review and how they're going to connect with you. And you make sure that you initial and sign that and date it right beside that request. I'm authorizing 1 hour of diagnostic time with a full review and your contact information, how they're to connect with you, and you sign, date, and print your name right beside that authorization. That avoids a lot of, well, I misunderstood you. Oh, well, it's not here on the work order. There's a million excuses. If you want to protect yourself, I can protect you. That's how you have to do it, because don't trust that advisor to do it for you because they're lazy. Most of them are lazy. Next, remember, every sequence, whatever it is that you are requesting, each service or diagnosis or maintenance goes on a separate sequence. You want to see separate times, their labor times charged to that sequence. So how much time did Johnny spend on the tire rotation? How much time did he spend on the brake service? You want to see individual times for the individual services. They're called sequences. So if you have 6 things, that's 6 sequences. Not 1, not lumped into 2. It's 6. You want to separate out the labor so that you can audit your invoice correctly. And you want to see what they did. You want to see it written out. Again, they're lazy. So don't assume they're just going to do it for you. Not true. I see even at the dealership level some really bad invoicing. Lousy invoicing. I spent a whole week in invoicing school so that I was making sure all invoices, whether it was customer pay or warranty work, that the invoices were filled out perfectly every single time. So yeah, I'm tough. I am tough on that because that protects the customer as well as the company. Next, you want all the parts separated from each sequence. So not just a great big list of freaking gobbledygook word salad on the right-hand column. You want all the parts separated out and in sequence with the sequences. So oil change, everything that was done on the oil change side is opposite the labor side, showing you the parts used for sequence number 1, parts used in sequence number 2, etc. Okay, the out mileage. What is the purpose of the out mileage? And make sure when you sign that work order, you sign it, date it, and print your name. In any special request, you do the same beside each sequence. And that, here's the thing. When you say I'm giving you 1 hour for diagnostic time, when they call back and give you a review, don't just say go ahead. No. I'll authorize 1 more hour of diagnostic time. And then I want another review with an estimate to complete. Don't leave that ticket open. That's where you're going to get taken. And if the guys are paid commish, you really got to be sharp. You got to be sharp. So they call you, your vehicle's done. The vehicle's been road tested, right? Am I right? The vehicle's been road tested, right? So if they've road tested it, what should the mileage be that is in the out box? What's that mileage? It should be different than the in box. By how much? The road test value. So what that does is that confirms that all the work was done and it was done correctly and to the letter. That's what the out mileage confirms. If there's no out mileage, it didn't get road tested. The work didn't get confirmed and checked for quality of workmanship, period. It just didn't. It did not get checked, period. That's a problem. That is a serious problem. So I'll do a whole program on work orders, repair and service times, and also on work orders, because when it comes to warranty work, if the work order is incomplete, the warranty will not be paid out to the dealership, period. It won't be authorized, so they lose the money. Okay, quickly, number three. Number 3 is from James. Do thermostats ever require replacing, and how do you know when they are not working? Well, when they're not working, you're usually on the side of the highway, James, waiting for the flatbed because you've overheated. Here's the thing. There is no warning light on the thermostat. Although some of the Jeeps out there, we did a 2017. You can check that on our YouTube channel. 2017 was flagging the thermostat. So there was actually a cooling system fault code that led me to the failure of the thermostat. So it was running too cold, which meant the thermostat was open. That's far better than the thermostat being slammed closed. I'll get there. Closed. If the thermostat's closed, the engine's going to go into super overheat. That's when catastrophic engine failure happens. You damage the motor. It can't take it. So we got to remember, with a lot of these vehicles, they have electric cooling fans. Cooling fans don't come on till 212, 225 Fahrenheit. 212 to 225 Fahrenheit, when you're dealing with water, is a boiling point. Antifreeze, when it's mixed right, lowers that. So it's not boiling at 212, 225. The antifreeze can take that temperature, and it's not boiling like water, tap water would. But the thing with thermostats is, not all vehicles are going to flag you like that. It was a 2017 Jeep JK with a 3.6 liter Pentastar. It flags a fault code for the cooling system, and then you can diagnose it from there. The general rule of thumb, if you don't want to find out when it's going to fail, you're doing cooling system flushes every 2 years. I hope you're not falling into, you'll have to listen to those podcasts and watch my YouTube videos. In the very early days, we've got almost 200 videos up there. I walk through antifreeze, I don't know how many times, and break it down in different teaching segments for you. Is this long life antifreeze is nothing but a farce. It failed back in the early 90s. It was causing engine damage, head gasket failure, intake gasket failures, etching cylinder heads, because it turns acidic. So those are the things that make us a consumer. Is I don't have and use any of that high mileage long maintenance crap in my shop. I won't put it in my own car. I'm not putting it in yours. You can watch a new video where I show you how to do a gush and flush and get soaked and have a shower, and you can laugh at me. That's up on our YouTube channel right now. I performed that on our 97 Jeep TJ Wrangler Rescue, so you could see everything clearly, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I'm using just your basic silicone-based antifreeze, super silicone solicitate. I do not use the long-term stuff. Should be flushing and filling every 2 years, and change the thermostat out, and that will keep you out of hot water. No pun intended. So it's one of those items where it's working super hard to keep your engine at 195 degrees even when it's stinking freezing cold outside. Seriously. So if you don't want to find out the hard way and end up steaming up on the highway in a hot July day and the blacktop's like 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit, you don't want to wreck something. Far cheaper to just use the general rule of thumb. If you had one of our car connection fleet maintenance systems, you would see it on there every 24 months, full flush, gush and flush, and change out the thermostat before it quits, because it's not going to warn you. It's just going to quit. And it has a big job to do. It's constantly opening and closing, and it's mechanical. It's going to fail. It's bound to fail. So I hope that answers all your questions. Thanks again to Linda, Jennifer, and James. Fantastic questions. If you want to get in on Q&A Saturdays, you got to send me an email with your questions throughout the week, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. All the information is always in the description boxes, and more information than what I normally get a chance to talk about or show you on videos. I write the descriptions myself, and I put a lot of tips and tricks in there that you won't hear me speak on or show you on YouTube videos or on podcasts. You need to read the descriptions. So thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center for being our nonprofit faith-based organization serving men, women, and children meals, love, and hope, changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region, from widows to orphans to single moms and youngsters and young adults. They take care of them all at no cost to them whatsoever. So if you can reach into your heart and figure out how you could be a part of that and help them out, they'd really appreciate it. They feed twice out the door hot meals, Tuesdays and Fridays, and they're just pretty much maxed out on what that costs to do that, to serve between 260 and 300 people at a time. So until next week, Monday morning, we'll see you bright and early for another Motormouth 8 a.m. morning drive. Happy, healthy motoring, peace, patience, and kindness always, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.